Governments around the world are trying to introduce a means to trade in carbon credits, and not many have succeeded. It appears, though, that South Africa might be on the right path.
About 2 years ago, the South African government decided that they could implement a hybrid scheme whereby they can have a carbon tax but allow offsets to be traded against a company's carbon tax liability. It's a unique position worldwide, and it actually solves a lot of the problems that's associated with other emerging and existing carbon markets.
The challenge has come around is how do we build this demand, and I guess it's been great that government is considering including carbon credits as an offset in their carbon tax side of things. If that was not the case, it would be even more difficult to get something trading.
Many countries have attempted to create carbon trading platforms from the ground up, putting all the infrastructure in place, but it hasn't worked.
The JSE is putting up its hand and offering its platform. Will it be traded? I guess ultimately we're not the only decision maker in that. It's a function of the market who needs to decide. We certainly have the systems.
Carbon will be treated as a commodity and traded on the JSE. Sellers, those big corporates with big carbon footprints, will be able to register their carbon reduction once verified by a certified auditor. That credit is then placed in the carbon registry, given a unique code, and bought by a corporate looking to offset their carbon footprint. That trade is registered with the country's tax authorities, and the seller is given a tax break.
We've engaged with the potential players, and they are prepared to walk the road with us to implement a system that will hopefully result in a first pilot trade by the end of the year.
The intent of the carbon tax and the fact that you're trading carbon credits is you want a change of behavior. You want players to relook at how they do business and how can they do that in a more environmentally friendly manner.
While it's about corporates doing the right thing, it's also about the size of the market and whether there's going to be any liquidity in it. Remembering that the proposed tax is 120 Rand per tonne.
If we say that the carbon offsets could come in between 80 and 100 Rands a tonne, some are easier at 100 Rands a tonne, so 100 Rands multiplied by 20 million Rand will give you 2 billion Rand a year worth of potential carbon trade in South Africa by 2020.
As corporates scramble to get their carbon footprint down to the bare minimum so they don't have to pay taxes, the government has stepped in and quite possibly, with unintended consequences, created a market. I'm Angelo Coppola for CCTV in Johannesburg.